Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in the last class, we have discussed the class and how the ID works in CSS. And we also were making a calculator web page in which I have made a button. Now I will be showing you in today's class that how this button can be a working button. And that for that, the language that I have to use is a JS. Now, you know how JS language works. So if you think as an example of a car, so whenever a automobile company is making a car, they first make a structure of a car, right? Like the how the car is going to be look. That basically is going to be the car structure. So here, if I say car structure, that means I'm using HTML. Now we always discuss that what will be the designing of the car, like what color and everything will be there. So that's going to be CSS. Now the working of the car, how the engines will be there, how the car will start and will go from one place to another. That's a function. And that function would be defined by JS. So that's we can correlate these two examples. Now in this one, I will be making a JS file first because I have to do a code in JS. So for this, I named the file as main.js is going to be my extension, right? So now I have written here a button and this button need to be working, right? So I have to tell that what is going to be the event which makes the working of this button. So I have to define an event for this button so that this button will do a function, right? So I will define an event and function over here for this button in HTML. First of all, I'll say that it's the on click, which is we have to do, right? So now in this case, I will be writing on click, which is my event, and equals to, I'll be writing the add, that's going to be the function name of my function. Now, here, if I write add as a function, I have to define what this add is going to do, how this function is going to work. Now, for defining the function, we have to go to main.js. Right now, here the function of JS comes. So in JS, there is a syntax of writing it. First of all, we write function, then we write the name of the function with a bracket. Very important. Bracket is only the, you can say pehchan, the identity of the entire function, that this is a function, right? So I use this add over here. And now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to name the variable. Now, why variable? If you are new to the coding world and you don't know about the basis, variable is something which work like a container. Like I want to add two values, suppose 5 and 3, and the result would be coming as 8. Now this 8 going to be stored somewhere, no, in my web page. Otherwise, in my coding, where I'm going to store these numbers? To store values. So that I need a container and that works as a variable. So you can think right now I have made a container like name as a result, which is going to hold the values which will come after adding two numbers. Now, how to add two numbers? For adding two numbers, first of all, I have to write number because otherwise computer won't be understanding that this is a number, right? Now I'm going to use document dot get element by ID. Now I will be writing that from where I'm getting these numbers, like this first number, from where I got. I have to write the ID, mention the ID. Now in my text box, I have mentioned a ID over here for my input box. So for first input box, I use ID as first num. And for the second input box, I give the ID as second num. So to make them identified, to make them specifically different and differentiable. Otherwise, the class was already there. If I have to work for a class in CSS, I can use a dot and I can use iBox. So both of them will be working for the same. But if I want to define it alone, I have to define it with the ID. And for function, I have to define it alone. So that's why the ID has been mentioned. So now I will write that how I'm getting the first number. So I'm getting the first number from first NO, right? And I'm just getting the value. So I will write value. Now I write here plus sign and then I'm going to give a second number the same way. Either you can copy paste, but as we are doing it for the first time, let's please make a habit of writing it. Then you can make a habit of doing copy paste. Then you can easily do the codings. So over here, I again use get element by ID. Again, I have to mention the ID over here. That's going to be second number, right? Because I'm getting the second number from the second number input box. And that's the number. So I will write dot input. So here I'm using value because from the input box, I'm going to get the value. And I'm going to give a semicolon. Now the thing is that I want to show this particular result. And for today session, I'm not using to show it on my site itself. Instead, I'm using a console screen, and in console screen, I want to show the result. So I will write console.log, and what I want to show, that's the result that I want to show inside this. So what will happen here, it will take the first number, for example, 12. Then it will take the second number, for example, 32, and then it will add them both and will show you it in the result. Okay, that's why you show the result. Now, one thing I want to mention, why I write number in before these documents. So if I do not mention, my computer will take it as a string. So if I do not mention number now, what will happen? It will show me this result as 1, 2, 3, 2. It will take it as a string, no? So it will join these two numbers instead of adding them, right? So we have to mention that this is basically a number. One more thing to be very noticed that I have to connect my HTML and my JS together like I have done it for CSS as well. So here I have the link in connection for JS, and this is going to be same for every course. Script src, you will give the name of the file, which is your main JS, and then the connection between it. Now when you do the output checking, let's check. So I'm writing here few numbers, let's say, and when I click on add, yes, you will not be able to see it on the screen because I have done the coding so that you can see it on your console screen. Now let's check if I do the output checking, how it is going to come. So I'm going to do go live. Here you cannot see the output, on my screen itself, because it's not going to be shown like that. I have done the coding so that you can see it in my console screen, and that's how I'm going to inspect and check the output. So you can see the output in the console screen over here that it is coming, right? So you can also try it out now in your screen as well, that how you can do subtraction or maybe multiplication. If you want to make me to separate video of all the entire calculator, please do let me know in the comment section. If you have any question related to IDs and numbers or functions, do let me know, because in more videos I'm coming with the JS codes now, and will be it's going to be more websites and web pages related to the functional websites, right? So stay tuned to my channel, and yes, do subscribe. See you all in the next one. Thank you.